All right, welcome to today's Tribe Digital Marketing Series, where we are focusing on bringing actionable strategies and tactics to the good folks of LinkedIn. And today I'm joined by LeadMD's Chief Strategy Officer, JT Bricker. Big title, JT.
Yeah, it's fun stuff, right?
Yeah, what does that even mean?
That's a great question.
Maybe a question for another day.
I'm still trying to figure it out, so I'll let everybody know once I know.
Fair enough. All right, so always like to start out. What are you most passionate about in marketing?
Yeah, and as indicated by my title, I'm most passionate about strategy and like more actionably, um, strategy that precipitates into a plan. And so, uh, really helping marketing organizations understand what it is they're trying to accomplish, and translate that into a plan, into operations, into campaigns, into tactics, whatever that is. But really avoiding random acts of marketing by having a good plan.
Yeah, one of my favorite phrases and used often throughout the tribe. So really appreciate you bringing that to us. I think it's really a solidifying statement for a lot of people when you think about, you just say random acts of marketing and you talk about all of those different things. People tend to be like, oh, yeah, that's what we're doing. So
Yeah,
it's been really good. It's one of those foundational things that I've taken into my vernacular for sure. Well, a lot of folks right now are pivoting. It's a
yeah,
pivot of resources. Events have been canceled. People aren't allowed to meet with their customers and their prospects face to face, which in some industries is a huge, huge deal. So, anything that you can do or provide to the audience here to help them pivot into digital marketing with some of those resources and budget that might be available?
yeah. And I'd probably add add another layer to that is with the uncertain economic times that come along with all of this as well. I think everybody's not only not having the face-to-face interactions, not having events, but they're also likely being asked to do more with less.
Yeah.
So like how do you go about doing more with less? And I think that comes down, to exactly what I was talking about before, is you really have to ensure you're not doing the random acts of marketing.
Right.
You're not just out in the market doing things because you think you should be doing things. I think
Sure.
there's in this time, there's probably two dangers to that. I think everybody's seen the examples of tone deaf marketing at this time.
Absolutely.
And so you certainly want to have a plan, and not be letting those things precipitate into the marketplace, but also, being really deliberate about where it is you focus your time, energy, and ultimately your dollars, particularly from a digital standpoint. And don't just take an events budget and say, now, okay, now we have $50,000 that we can spend in digital marketing.
Sure.
Let's throw it back into our digital, channels that are already running. Like take what could be a half a day session, to slow down a little bit to speed up,
Yep.
and make a plan that is actionable and is going to meet your prospects or your customers or whoever it is you're communicating with the right, tone, but also with the right message.
Yeah.
And that none of that can be done without really taking a step back, taking a minute to breathe on it for a second and understand what it is your prospects and customers really want to see from you at this point, and how can you can use what is likely the more availability of their attention,
Right.
to really interact. And I think that's probably the second piece of that is a lot more people are spending a lot more time in digital channels right now than they
Sure.
might normally. They don't have their events. They don't have happy hours. They don't have, uh, grocery store runs. Like all of the things that we're not doing right now, really present an opportunity to start meaningful conversations. And I think if you do that without necessarily the intention on closing that conversation as resulting in a deal now,
Right.
but people are available to give you the attention and the headspace and their ear at this time, as long as you have a message and a product and a value proposition that means something to them.
Yeah. Love that. Slow down to speed up. It's one of those things you hear often. I used to have an Olympic lifting coach who told me the same thing. And it's certainly applicable in marketing, especially in a time when people are uncertain about a lot of things.
Yeah.
One other question before we go. You mentioned, we've talked about customers and prospects, and this year largely, and 19 largely was a year of the customer or customer marketing.
Yep.
Do you think now's the time to double down on customer?
I think for two reasons, it's a time to double down on customers. And I don't think that necessarily means don't focus on prospects, but
Of course.
in a time like this, those customers are, first of all, they're the people who are already likely listening.
Right.
And it's an opportunity for you to show what you as an organization are made of. And even if that is backing off of any sort of promotional activity and really getting out into the marketplace with a message that fits the time that we're in,
Right.
And start to build those customer relationships so that you can come out of that with really two things: lasting loyalty. I think this is a great opportunity to build loyalty. People like Slack are doing a great job of getting into the marketplace and
Yep.
And providing value. I think Zoom, which we're on right now, is
Right now. Yep.
another organization who's out there really making an impact, and they're not doing it for a financial benefit, but their customers and probably their prospects are gonna see that, and they'll benefit from it at some point. So there's that piece, and then the long-term loyalty of those customers, and then the upsell component of that, really leaning in to provide value, so that when you do come with an ask someday, whether that contract is up, whether you launch a new product, that you've taken the time to build a relationship. So it's certainly a time to double down on customer marketing.
I love it. Yeah, I think we're seeing that even in our own business in the short term of the time that we've been dealing with the coronavirus stuff. So couldn't agree more. All right, JT. Well, thank you for taking a few minutes. Hopefully this is helpful to somebody out there, even if it's one person, right?
Hopefully.
All right. Thanks, JT.
Josh.
See you, man.